Oh, so I'm playing this festival in South Korea.
What?
So like my music is just an extension of my personality, and that's all it is. So some of it, I have more emotions attached to it than others. A lot of that stuff's not released. You know, it's like just my personally just what I have.
Yeah.
And then some of it is just like bubblegum, pop, cotton candy. It's no nutritional value. It's just fun, and that's all it is. I don't really have any sentimental items.
How would you do it differently, knowing what you know? Like as you, if watching you do that inspired me in so many ways to take the full jump. Y'all, welcome to episode 3 of Inside the Rapper Studio, formerly called the Groundwater Podcast, but renamed. We're going to talk a lot today about branding, which is something that totally confuses me. And AF kind of helps me wrap my head around it. Our guest today is AFTHENAYSAYER, beat maker extraordinaire based out of New Orleans, but travels the world doing his thing. We talk about touring, veganism, BMX, the importance of sleep, licensing, how not to feel grimy when selling yourself, the remix game, Red Bull, how to approach beats, and my cat plays with toys in the background. This is your host again, Jonathan Brown. I'm so excited to be with y'all today. I'll tell you more about my world on the outro, but real quick, if you're in New Orleans, December 12th, we have a show with Chesky, Dope Knife, and Lingua Franca at the Hi-Ho Lounge, and it's going to be epic. It's going to be amazing. Then on the 13th, I play Baytown right outside of Houston. 14th, I play San Marcos with Faylita Hicks and a Grid Squid crew. The 15th is Austin at the Homeless House. The 16th is the Desert Flower Art Gallery in Big Spring. 17th, we play Kamikaze in Midland. 18th is Oklahoma City in Oklahoma City. It's this venue called The Root. My friend Electra helped me out with that show. Can't wait to see you, Electra. The 20th, we play Shreveport at Bears. And then it's time for Christmas. So I got a little tour. I got a little 7-day tour coming up. So if you were in Texas or Oklahoma or Louisiana, please come to those shows. I'm coming back to see you because I had so much fun the last time. Without further ado, this is the interview with AFTHENAYSAYER. I hope you like it. He knows a lot more about the business of music than I do. And it was cool to just pick his brain and sit back and be a student for an hour and a half. So I learned a lot, and I hope you do too. I love you guys. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, comment, share, all those kind of social, internet-y, courtesy things. And yeah, let me know what you think. Love you guys. See you soon out there on the road. Bye. I'm sitting here with Mr. AFTHENAYSAYER. What's up?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm chilling.
Good.
Welcome.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah? All right.
We've been planning it for a while, so I'm glad it's a reality now.
Yeah. We got a show coming up on
The 19th.
Yeah, it's silly to talk about it because this probably will come out after the show, but
It's
we
okay.
can still talk about the show.
Just gotta archive it.
We gotta archive the show.
Mm-hmm.
So we're having a house show, and there's we got 2 MCs from Texas, Symmetry and Virgil Wolf, and then we got Lord Chilla and you. Tell me about Lord Chilla. I don't know his work.
Well, he's He's a guy. He's like a tastemaker in the city for sure. He does. He DJs too under a different name.
Okay.
And he puts on events and he raps also. So when he
dope.
raps, his name is Lord Chilla. But he's hosted a lot of different events in the city. He's been hosting Pink Room lately,
Okay.
which is a really cool collective / event that's going on. They took over Soul Sisters Saturday at Hi Ho. Now it's every Saturday is Pink Room. At least for right now, currently. So yeah, so he's the host of that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like he sometimes. Excuse me. Whew. Sometimes he.
Bless you.
I'm about to do it again. Sometimes he acts as like my ring announcer. Like,
Yo, was that okay? So I went to Dolo. Was that the dude who introduced you?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was him.
Okay, that's all coming back to me now. Okay, I didn't know. Okay. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to that. It'll be dope. This house will be clean
Oh well.
instead of the way it is now.
Well, it's not that bad.
Until
I've seen it worse. It's it's okay.
Right. So if I could take it back, I want to start our interview and imagine my world 3 years ago. So like 3 years ago, my band was doing well. I think my album just came out, and I look up and there's you on tour with like, you had one called the Birds Fly South tour.
Right. With Prism House.
And you had
Wait,
one.
no, that wasn't with Prism House.
Was that with Home?
Yeah, Home, aka sports. At that time, he was transitioning to sports coach, so it really was sports coach, but whatever. It was Home at the time.
Okay, so my dad was a basketball coach when I was growing up, so that is like the most uncool band name ever to me. I just imagine like some asshole. Not that my dad's an asshole, but like a drill sergeant,
right.
Sports coach. Does that reflect his music at all? We don't have tough shit. I shouldn't do that.
No. That's
sure.
No, it's pretty much a parody. So it's kind of
okay.
It's like a joke. It's definitely a joke, for sure.
Okay, because I was imagining. Have you ever seen Last Chance U on Netflix? And there's that terrible football coach.
No, but I can imagine. Imagine probably like Friday Night Lights or something.
That's what I'm saying. I can imagine that dude trying to DJ or MC, and I would just get...
No, it's like kind of making fun of that. And Thatcher's music, a sports coach, so
Yeah.
Home was more of like beats.
Because I listened to Home, and I really liked it.
Yeah, it was like a laid-back, ambient style hip-hop beats, where sports coach is like synth pop, indie rock.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was definitely him going a whole different direction.
And then you were out with...
I did a tour with Prism House for his album release. I don't remember the name of that tour.
Yeah.
Oh, Landfall tour. So
The Landfall tour. And you were out with Durazzo as well.
yes, I did that. That was Back on the Path. That was like my first like national tour. But before that, I toured with the first tour I ever did was with Beautiful Bells.
Okay.
And Spirituals, and that was like my first taste touring, and that was kind of like taught me like how to go about it. And I did like a couple like small.
Yeah.
There was this band, Whom Do You Work For? We did like 3 days, and that's not like a tour, but some people would call it that. To me, it's like if you're doing it more than like a week and a half, then that's really, it's like 30 days to me is like a tour,
Right.
Like, but I know it's not like that for. Terms of the genre or who you are, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm missing something. I know I did tour with Sick Hop like twice.
Right. I saw that. That was more recently than those other ones, right?
The last tour, yeah, true, that was. And the last tour I did was with Durazzo and Lisa Velasquez in the Pacific Northwest. So that was really the last touring I've been doing, so I've been doing a bunch of one-offs ever since.
Yeah. So I was watching that, and I was like, whoa! If he can do it, I could do it. And I just like, conceptually, I had to really change my lifestyle to do it. Because how do you tour for a month when you have a job? Or like...
True.
And most people can't do that, or don't have the luxury of do that, or if they have like social or family obligations, they can't do that, or they could, but it it'd be difficult. I don't know. So like, watching you do that inspired me in so many ways to take the full jump. And then I wanted to transition. So thank you for that.
Oh,
that was a big deal when I was like getting a hold of what it means to be an artist and like how do you tour. You were the first person I like knew who was, you see like big names tour, but you were the first like homie I knew who was touring, and so it was so cool to be able to ask you about it back then and even now. So, but you said you've been doing some one-offs. Can we talk about like, did your taste for touring change? Cause you were like a road hog, like you were out there.
Yeah, well, it was like nonstop. It seemed like at one point.
Yeah,
I just got burnt out from music in general. I was just like tired of music and got burnt out from like the industry of it and all that, and wanted to take care of myself, like mentally, my mental health and physical health.
Yeah,
I changed my diet around.
Yeah,
I don't want to just ride bikes more often, and so I told myself in 2016, I'm like, okay, I don't want to tour. And ended up doing that.
Okay.
Ended up doing that one thing with Durazo. Just like he wanted to do a favor for me. He's like, hey, I'm gonna put together something. I want you to come out, be like a vacation. We'll hang out. You can stay like extra week, whatever.
Yeah.
So it was great. I'm glad he did that, and it was always great to see Ben. So it was. But outside of that, I was trying my best not to tour.
Okay.
Now currently, I'm ready to start touring again. So,
okay. So you said take care of your mental and physical health. Mm-hmm. What changed for you?
I mean, you can look back at old photos. Like my weight has drastically dropped a lot.
If I can ask, about how much do you think you lost?
Well, I don't know how much I was weighing, but I remember a guy. He told me, "Looked like you dropped 80 pounds." So that sounds and looks about right. So I would say maybe in between like. Definitely more than 50, maybe as much as like 90.
Damn.
I'm the skinniest I've ever been as an adult right now currently. So.
Yeah, and I see you with the smoothie game going hard.
Well, yeah, I'm really. So I've been losing weight and stuff, but I was never really trying to. At first, it was like holistic healthcare, just trying to take care of myself. So I don't have a lot of income.
Yeah,
and insurance is expensive. Also, going to doctors is expensive. So I'm practicing as much preventative healthcare as I possibly can. I read a book, Mucus Free Healing System by Arnold Ehret.
Okay.
And that book kind of changed some things. It was one of my good friends. He had the book and like talked about it and showed me it. And I kind of just was like, I was burnt out on music. I wanted to get away, so I stayed with like my best friend Ahmed Johnson out in LA. He showed me the book. We're BMXing all day. I was eating fruits and vegetables, feeling good, and was doing pretty all right. And then one of my friends invited me to like this party. Well, one of my old friends from the movie industry invited me to this party, and it had like a lot of junk food and like meat and dairy and all that stuff. And I had something that gave me food poisoning, and I was like done for like 2-3 days. I was like, never again, I'm not eating meat or dairy. And then I started taking, he showed me the book, and then that's what was like, okay. That's when I decided I'm turning vegan, like, for the second time, and like I really don't ever want to eat meat or dairy. But now I'm monitoring more of my, like what I'm eating, and actually like calculating like grams and stuff, because I'm interested in natural bodybuilding. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. So that's why I have the shake with me, trying to make sure I get my amount of calories like per every 3 hours and whatnot, and have this water with me. So yeah, so I just recently started to want to do that. Anyone who knows me knows I want to be a wrestler, so I'm trying to also look the part too.
Can I ask, in regimenting the food, like in regimenting and being meticulous and consistent about what you eat and drink, like what you take in that way, does that also have a ripple effect on how you consume media, or how you consume rest, how you sleep, or how you like if you're counting grams and calories on the intake of food, are you also metaphorically counting calories on the rest of your life? Like, does it help you keep track of the rest of your...
I feel like, well, no, I guess not. Well, maybe it is, and I don't even realize. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely, since now I'm like working out more often and actually have like a plan, I definitely try to get more sleep. And I try to go to bed at an early hour because I need the rest. The sleeping and rest is probably just as important or more important than the actual working out. So,
did you ever see that movie with Al Pacino and he's like trying to solve a crime in Alaska or something? And it's like
Insomnia.
Yeah.
Or Insomniac.
It never gets dark there, and he can't sleep, and it just keeps getting weirder and weirder as the days drag on. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I feel since I've gone vegan. Like,
really?
I go to bed at dawn every day, and I get up at like maybe, I know it's like damn near after 2, but this feels like early morning to me. I don't know what the fuck it is, man. I can't sleep with this vegan shit, and I like it, but I just, my brain won't stop. Like, I have so much energy.
Oh, maybe it's something like you're eating or not eating, you know?
It could be. I don't know. And sometimes, like, when I was meat eater and you eat like a big meal that had like, if you eat a fucking 20-ounce ribeye, that is essentially a sleeping pill. Like, your body just goes, nope, zero.
So when you have too much energy?
I don't know. I just like lay in bed and think of shit and then write it down. It's hard to, I guess what I'm saying is it's hard to stay still. Maybe I need more B12 or something. I don't know.
I don't know what to tell you. You work out hard enough, your ass is gonna go to sleep and you're gonna stay knocked out.
Okay. I mean, I could try that.
No, for real. No, look, I was thinking because I'm usually like a 5-hour sleeper. I usually sleep like 5 hours a day. That's like, no matter what time I go to sleep. Like, it could be like, or I could go to bed early.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm up like after like 5-6 hours. But if I'm really pushing my body, working really hard, like I remember like the last time I worked on, it wasn't the last time, one of the last times I worked on a movie set, and I was like working on this movie for like a month.
Yeah.
And I worked as a grip, so it's like a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah.
A lot of very labor intensive at times.
Sure.
So working almost every day was like more than 12 hours. So it was like overtime was every day. It was crazy. And at that time, I was sleeping like 10 hours.
Damn.
Because my body was like, yeah, you need this.
Okay.
So, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you work hard enough, you're going to want to go to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I get home from riding a pedicab sometimes at like 1 a.m, and it's like I'm hyped, like I'm up because I've just been like riding a bike for 7 hours. I don't know. I'll figure it out. It's so if I could get back to the touring game though, like, so you're a little burnout, you want to take care of yourself, but you said like you feel like you're kind of on the upswing, like you're ready to tour again.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I did tour with this dude. He goes by Tame, that's Inspiring Me, and he wanted to go on tour, and he needs some help getting some dates.
Yeah.
So he knew like if he toured with me, it'll make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And plus, I can give him insight. And I did so as a favor, I toured with him and stuff, and that was kind of a learning lesson again. Like, reminding me.
And you were out. I think you did Houston, right? Like y'all went Texas direction.
We did. We didn't. It was the Northeast. I usually do Northeast because being in the South and touring Northeast is simple, but the West Coast is very difficult because things are few and far in between. It's a lot easier to make more money touring the East Coast than it is the West Coast, in my opinion, just because the expenses will be a lot lower because you're traveling less.
Right. That's what's up. I haven't. I've toured the Northeast a little, but not a lot. I gotta try that out. So how would you do it differently, knowing what you know? Like, as you, if if I'm you and I'm about to put both feet in a tour, now that I know all the stuff that I learned from all the tours I've done, what would I do differently now?
Oh, okay. Well, it depends how much money you have, Like if I have like a good grip of money, like probably like in between $500 to $1,000, or maybe $500 to $2,000, I would hire a PR company, a PR firm.
Okay.
Or some management consulting, music media firm, and plan a schedule like around the tour as well, with like a press release with the album and whatnot. So every city I'm going to,
okay,
I'm doing like interviews with the college radio, as well as just like local news sources and things of that nature. Really pushing it out, inviting people in the media to come out to the shows in advance. Like anyone who's a like tastemaker in the music world of that city, reach out to those people, get them to come out.
Okay.
That's what I would do before, like, which I wasn't doing in the past. So even if you didn't have the money, still try to reach out to like people like 2 months in advance. Let them know like this is my tour schedule, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing. Engage in that conversation, and eventually they'll hit you back up. So if you start talking to them early enough, let them know what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's maybe why hiring like the management firm or the PR firm can help out, because they're essentially using their connections. And
have you ever done that before?
No.
Do you know anyone who has?
Yes.
And they like say it works really well?
I think it depends on the person and where they are with their career, because I've seen horror stories happen using PR, and I've also seen I've seen success stories. But I think it's not luck. It's just working with the right people. Make sure people work for you and not you work for them. I think that's the key. I know that sounds a little weird, but that's...
Well, I mean, if you're paying someone $2,000, I would hope that they're working for you.
No, for sure. But definitely. But sometimes, like, timing is everything. It depends on who's actually working for you and what they're doing. Eventually you'll get something... like, you're like, oh, yeah, we did this exclusive release through this big blog or whatever, or we did this and that. I think a lot of it's also just being honest and what your expectations also are too.
Okay.
Like, so know what to expect know what they should expect from you, and vice versa. So just because you put this money out doesn't mean that all your shows will be well attended. But the whole idea is that at least there'll be some press about it generated, building buzz for yourself.
Okay.
So, you might look at it as like, this is a stepping stone for when I put out my full-length album next time, or something of that nature.
So, I know you said you haven't pulled the trigger and hired this person yet, but help me understand. Do you write the press release, or did they? And then...
I mean, I actually hired a PR person before for my very first release.
Yeah.
The single, the Mike and I single.
Yeah. I listened to that this morning.
Yeah. Oh, word, respect. Yeah. So we did PR with Done Deal PR.
Okay.
We did that. It was. I think I had the wrong attitude when I hired, because I was like, I paid you, this amount of money to do PR for the single.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't have to do anything else. Like, you can handle all of it yourself. And I think what works best is when both people are actually working just as hard.
Absolutely.
Not putting...
Yeah.
So I was just like, in my mind frame, I was also very green at the time. I didn't really know.
Yeah.
There was some cool things that happened from it. So there's things that happened I wouldn't be able to do myself. But then there's certain things I was like, I could have did that myself. So it was okay. I don't regret it.
Yeah.
So
my cat Piano's just going hard on this plastic ball. I'm about to pick it up soon. You recently, all right, so like tour real hard, then like focus on one-offs, but you actually just got back from Wales, right?
I did.
What was that like? How was it playing a festival? And I'm gonna grab that plastic ball from Piano's. What was it? What was it like playing a festival? Like, how did you get on it? And you did a crowdfunding campaign to get to it. What was that experience like?
All right.
I'm listening. Hold on.
Okay.
Damn it. Okay. All right. Sorry.
No, we're good, man. Well, the crowdfunding, I crowdfunded once before, well, 2 times before this.
Yeah.
So, one was for Dolo Jazz Suite, to get a PA system for Dolo Jazz Suite.
Sure.
Because we were always like either borrowing one or renting one from someone. So we're like, one of my friends was like, hey, I'm about to move, I'll sell you a PA system.
Okay.
So we just raised the money to be able to buy the sound system off of her. And it worked out. It was cool.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like pulling teeth to make it happen. And I was like, man, I don't want to go through this again. So
yeah.
But I did have to do that when Charm Taylor got picked to play that festival in Wales, which is called Focus Wales. So Charm Taylor was picked. She was like, I want you to back me up on stage.
Okay.
I need you to run electronics. Essentially be my DJ / programmer on stage, and we'll put on this magical showcase, together.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I was like, okay. Like, but we're going to have to find a way to get out there because, we got to make this money for ourselves. It was like, so I mentioned to her, and it was like, we didn't have that much time. We only had I think 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We had 3 weeks, and I was like, I don't know if I can come with that money in 3 weeks, but you're very popular and people love you.
Sure.
People love me too. But if people see us team together for do something that's important for our careers, people will show love and support. So I was like, I have faith that if we do it together, it will be all right. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
So we did a campaign together. It started off pretty good, in the middle got slow, and then it picked right back up at the end, and then we were able to make the money.
Wow.
That fun both of us to get out there.
So Focus Wales was like, we'd love to have you, and you're like, dope. And they're like, but we're not buying your plane ticket.
Yeah,
basically.
It's South by Southwest, essentially.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about that.
So they don't, from my knowledge, well, they don't pay international acts for sure.
Wow. Okay.
At least I think so. But it was definitely well worth it. Like I said, I've been twice. So one for Charm Taylor and this time for myself. It was definitely, there's connections I made that I just wouldn't be able to make those connections. Like speaking to different managers as well as licensing firms and just things of that nature. So it just put me in the faces of people. They had it was a music business conference also.
Whoa.
And, I had a really great showing, and I made connects where I feel like now I can feel comfortably touring all of UK now from going out there.
Whoa.
And just from the connections I made, I've been being there twice. Well, also being there the first time, I didn't know what to expect. The second time, I knew what to do. So I made all the right connections and made some really cool friends. So I feel at home in Wrexham, which really took place at, which is kind of weird but yeah, I feel at home in Wrexham. So
that's what's up. And they do that every year?
Yes, they do. And it's getting bigger and bigger every year. Anyone, I was the only person from the States to play last year, and me and Charm were the only 2 people from the States to play. But they do have people from the States there representing. They even have a South by Southwest representative.
Whoa.
So, there's definitely people from the States there, but not performers. Most of the performers who are international get government funding to go play, and they tour. So a lot of so everyone thought I was Canadian who didn't know who I was.
Wow. Because you were there.
There's so many Canadians playing this festival.
Yeah.
So, and these Canadian bands or artists or acts, they're getting funding from the government to essentially go play this festival, then go on tour, in Europe.
So, I have so many questions.
Or at least all the ones I talked to.
You mentioned, if I could ask this, I don't even know how to phrase the question, but you said something about licensing. I'm familiar with touring, and I know how to make money on music when you play a show every night. I know how to build momentum and engage with people who are interested in your art when you're playing a show every night. But I have no idea how to make a career in music when you're not playing a show every night.
Right.
And I think the answer has something to do with licensing.
Oh, it's definitely with licensing.
So
sure. That's how I think most of the money is made from licensing.
Can you talk about that? Like, what is licensing? How does somebody get involved with it? Like, just start from the basics. Like, how would anybody who's like starting a career in music?
I haven't really made a whole lot of money from it, but I actually have made some money from it. But
okay. Like, what is it? Like, you make a song and then...
Well, someone like, we want to use your song for this commercial, or we want to use this song in this video game. We want to use this song in this movie.
Okay.
And then you get paid royalties for the music being played plus like a sum of money.
How do you even get involved in that conversation? Like, how do they know to... Oh, look, cool song. We got this video game.
More independent, like, point of view.
Yeah.
Have friends who are editors or music supervisors. That's literally what it is.
Okay.
I've gotten my music in this video game, Tap Tap Revenge.
Okay.
I don't know. I was like this is a music program game.
Yeah.
It was we didn't get paid for it though, unfortunately. But the whole idea was they did this for like a lot of different bands. The whole idea was like, okay, we're not gonna give you money, but whoever plays this song will be linked to their iTunes, and they can buy the song, and it's like linked in.
Oh, cool.
Ad. And this was like a while ago. This was like 2010, 2011. So streaming wasn't like, you had Rhapsody and stuff like that, but streaming isn't like what it is now, where people are legit making really decent money from streaming music. So
yeah.
But I remember that was when I was working with Luke St. John, and I just remember thinking, I was like, okay, well, this lawyer guy wants me to do it, and I trust this lawyer guy, and I have nothing to lose, so why not? Let's try it out. So, but then in the BMX world, I started to get a little bit of money from just the BMX videos when music would be on. ESPN used one of my songs, and I don't think they have like a licensing library.
Okay.
So like ESPN has a licensing library where they have like this genre, that genre, that genre, that genre, and then an editor picks from their library and they use it. One of my friends decided to use my music instead, and there was like a deadline, and they got it approved, and so it wasn't supposed to happen, but it ended up happening, and I got that money, and it was great because I needed that money because I was about to go on tour with Durazo, and that money came in at that time, so it was the biggest check I ever made musically. So
damn,
it was pretty cool. I wish I would get more of those, but that's in the near future that will happen. And the beautiful thing is, like, I'll just have more music to showcase and get licensed. Charm Taylor herself, she did a song with Galactic, and
wow.
It was picked up by a Bose commercial featuring JJ Watt, and she got like a fat check, like crazy fat check, and she was the feature artist of the song. So I couldn't even imagine like what if it was like we owned 100% of that song. It was crazy.
That's a whole side of music that I really don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think most do. I will say that, remember I was talking about like management consulting firm and things like that? Like those kind of people are the ones that have the connections to help you out with all that stuff. And nowadays, like labels, because like what's the point of a label when you can sign up through DistroKid or TuneCore and get your music in all the digital media formats? Well, I guess with the labels, they're trying to maximize how much money they can actually make. So they're the ones that kind of monopolize those connections and have those things where, oh, we have this machine where we're going to make sure this is licensed here, it gets there, get there. So we take our cut of the money, you make your money, or like a publishing company making sure that you're, making money. So, but like from an independent artist, it's a little bit different. That's why you have to work with other people. So that's why I was like, it might not be a bad idea to work with some kind of management firm. Yeah.
This is all enlightening and slightly confusing.
I mean, I'm learning every day as I live my life. So
can I ask this? Do you have are you solely independent, or do you have like a team of people that you work with, or is it some kind of blend in the middle? I don't. Are you like on a label? Because I see like Self-Educated Vinyl and Step Pepper.
So like Step Pepper is my friend's label.
Okay.
Andy Stewart, and there's some other people like involved with that label.
Yeah.
I technically only put out one thing through them, and they're friends. But like Self-Educated Vinyl is like I want to run my own label and have my own label, sign my own friends. But then I realized that's too much work. You know, we're living in a time where just put out your own music on your own thing. Like,
right.
You don't need to be on a label to put something out. But
sure.
Unless you have, like, for instance, Step Pepper, they're amazing with art direction. Like, their art direction game. And they're really good curators, too. So, you know, if you need some help with that, like, then, you know, maybe it might be a good idea to release through them or something of that nature. Or release through a certain label. Because the label's supposed to help you out with things you can't do for yourself.
Okay.
You should learn how to do all these things for yourself, but, you know, stepping stones, right?
Yeah.
Do I have a team? There's people I hit up for, like, who do graphic design work that I can depend on. Like Nathan Tremaine is one of them. I always know I can hit up Nathan.
Yeah.
And he'll do some stuff. So I have people like that. A prospect is he's my engineer, my like number one engineer. Anytime I need something mixed, I'm gonna hit a prospect if he has the time to do it. So like that's like he's definitely a big part of the team and a big part of my sound. You know, he gets I get a lot of compliments when I play live. Like, oh, it sounds really big, nice and clean, but not too clean.
Yeah.
At the same time, still has that grit and everything's punchy. I'm like, well,
that's prospect.
Well, I mean, I pick the sounds and design everything, but he helps me out. Like, I'm not an expert at mixing. I can mix good enough to have a really good demo, but that's not. At the end of the day, I'm not an engineer. I'm a songwriter, producer. That's what I do, and that's what I'm expert at.
Yeah.
Prospect is jack of all trades, you know, but he's more of an expert at the engineering than I am.
Yeah.
So therefore, and he knows my sound. I trust him. It's at a point now where I can send him things and barely give me notes, and he's already doing all the things I wanted him to do on top of it.
Sure. Yeah. It's awesome to work with an engineer who like knows what you're looking for without having to, you know what I mean? Like y'all kind of develop a sound together.
But like PR or anything like that, no, I don't really have a. Well, currently I'm working with Nameless Entertainment.
Okay, who's that?
So they're a booking agency. They work with Surefire agency.
Okay.
They also are a management firm too.
Okay.
Like I don't know like the whole roster, but there's a bunch of people who are affiliated with Brain Feeder and Stone's Throw that they personally work with.
Oh shit. Okay.
And I met Kyle, the guy who runs it. I met him on tour in 2014 with Durazo. And
okay.
So I know him through Durazo because he knew Durazo or he still knows Durazo. And yeah, he hit me up not too long ago. It was like, hey, what's going on with you? I was working with this kid named Adam Sherman.
Yeah.
He was managing me for a little bit. We had something working. It was more like a co-management thing. He just got too busy in his own life. He just didn't feel like he can work for me anymore. So
sure.
I was like, all right. But he didn't leave me high and dry. We're already talking to Kyle because like our main goal for like this year was get picked up by a booking agency.
Okay.
And so that because my goal now is like tour. Like I've been so much touring, but now I'm trying to. You were talking about what would I do differently?
Yeah.
So now I think about it, like tour smarter.
Okay.
Like if you think of this, like if I was a manager for managing someone, like what's the best way to get someone's name out there outside it's like PR? Have them go on tour, but not headlining their own tour because no one knows who they are. Have them go on multiple tours as support for a really big name act.
Okay. How do you do that?
Well, you have to know either like what a booking agency would do that for you because they're like, hey, I'm pulling this favor. We want this dude to go on tour with so-and-so and let's make that a reality. So usually like the booking agency does that. Or for instance, I could think of one of my friends and like how he got hooked up is through the artist. Like the artist saying like, hey, like one of my friends, his band got picked up by Lettuce. They're going on a national tour with Lettuce earlier in the year.
Okay.
And so they went on a national tour with Lettuce all across the country, and they're doing really well. They're about to go on a second tour right now. I think this time, I don't know if they're on supporting some other band, so they're going about the right way.
Well,
So I think that's the proper way, but we're doing it the DIY punk way.
yeah.
So, but now I'm trying to do it in a more professional way that makes sense. I'm trying to actually think about Polestar. And
What is Polestar?
Polestar is a website that tracks touring.
Oh,
And also,
okay. I don't know about
so
that.
professionals can get on there and they can see how much it costs to bring Travis Scott to these areas, what are their booking fees and all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's a professional website.
It's like a national booking agency or something?
No, they're not. They're not a booking agency. It's just a website that tracks touring and like ticket sales.
So, because in some markets, I know it's different. Like every once in a while, I get college gigs where I'll go and do a spoken word set or a poetry workshop at a college, and that's a whole different flavor.
Another ballgame.
There's a whole different flavor of paycheck than playing a house show or a dive bar or even a big music venue. Like, I can make more in an hour at a college than I will for like promoting and selling out a House of Blues show.
True.
But you know what confuses me about that? And I'm about to dig into that game in the spring. The college booking game. You know what super confuses me is this concept of branding. And I feel like I wanna wrap my head around it and like see it from all sides and do it authentically, but just the term and concept branding makes me feel a little slimy, and I think it's like this shitty childhood don't want to sell out vibe.
No, I understand that.
Like,
I think it's all a mindset you have to have.
Okay.
So I understand. Like for a long time, I still kind of have this problem. Like one of my good, like really close friends was telling me how
Yeah.
I do a lot of things, and most people don't even know like a tenth of all the things I do.
Yeah.
Because I just don't say it. But I think if you don't let people know what you're doing or tell people what you're about,
Yeah.
then how are people ever supposed to know what you have going on? So how can you expect someone else to promote you better than yourself? So you have to kind of have this mindset where it's okay. The thing is what's your intentions? Like, I think that's what is most important. Is like, do you have honest intentions when doing it, or do you have slimy intentions? You know, if your intentions are not slimy, then there's nothing to feel insecure or weird about.
So you're saying look at branding from the point of intention and just let your intention guide your branding.
And when you do that, people will gravitate to you like with these, or because they see it's real. Like for instance, the perfect example is Zach Villery, aka Froyo Ma.
Yeah.
Everything about Zach and his music is 100% him. So if you're actually like you know him on a personal level, and you see his music and the artwork and everything and how he presents himself, that's 100% him. No PR, none of that, no management.
Yeah. All
on his own, and people love it and they gravitate towards it because it's real. So if you're being real to yourself, you know you're doing the right thing. You know, so that's how I look at it. Just don't have the mindset of like I'm selling out because I'm doing this and that. Long as you're just being honest with your music and your message, and there's no problem. But you have to get uncomfortable. Like, man, I know this music thing. I've been uncomfortable the past 3 years.
Yeah.
But being uncomfortable brings progress.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're comfortable, you stay stuck in the rut. You don't move anywhere. So I think it's okay to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's okay to speak about yourself. You know, but like I said, it's all your intentions, where your intentions lie. At the end of the day.
Wow.
Like that's my opinion.
Yeah. No, that's super helpful.
So, you know, sometimes you have to kick yourself in the butt and like, hey, I am playing this show. I'm coming out here. I'm doing this. This is my brand. This is who I am. You have to be able to sell yourself.
Yeah. And I wanna feel good about it. Like I wanna I definitely feel good about making music. I definitely feel good about sharing art.
Well, it's also it's cause
Maybe it's like my apprehension with compromise. Like, I don't want to compromise shit for anybody. I'm stubborn, and I think, like,
that's real.
well, like, if I gotta rein it in or hold it back or even push it farther than I want to just to, like, get the gig, then that was inauthentic. So I want to be like the 100% of myself, whatever the self is, and then I don't want to compromise it.
Well, I will say this: balance is key. To
Yeah.
me, balance is like God. Like, it's key. Like, I try to have balance with everything. It's impossible, but I try.
Yeah.
So there's a part of you selling yourself. There's also a part of you like not selling yourself, right? So that probably didn't make any sense. Let me try to think of a better way of saying it.
Let me ask this. Okay, let's get practical. So you said going on tour with a larger artist
Yes,
to kind of like, to get your name out there more.
for sure.
Is there any artists out there that you would not go on tour with because you disagree with their message?
I'm pretty sure there is. I can't think of one off the top of my head right now. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like an alt-right band, you know?
Yeah, of course.
You know?
Of course you wouldn't go on tour with some skinheads. That doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
that would make no...
That'd be fucked up. Unless they were trying to expand their reach and they needed you. I'm kidding. What about, like, I saw Lil Yachty is coming to the Joy Theater.
Okay.
You're like, yes, sign me up? Or would
Oh,
you be like,
I
I know Run the Jewels is coming next month, I'd rather that show. Or like, what, do you have any lines in the sand that you would draw or not at all?
I'm pretty sure I definitely have some lines I would draw, but also, sometimes like those weird shows are amazing. I think of like look at old tour posters, and I saw like Minor Threat played a show with Trouble Funk.
Oh, okay.
So like sometimes like those Erykah Badu opened up for Mobb Deep back in the day.
That's
so
real.
Sometimes like
Yeah, like-
I mean think about Jimi Hendrix opened up for the Monkees.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just about just being in front of someone. So I wouldn't even like if I was opening for Yachty, like okay for like this is a very candid interview. So Cashmere Cat, right?
Okay.
I wanted to open up for Cashmere Cat just so I can get a paycheck
Sure.
because I have to pay rent. You know, so I was like, all right.
Give me a reference point. Who's Cashmere Cat?
Oh,
For
Cashmere
those of
Cat
us who
is
don't know.
amazing. He's an amazing producer.
Okay.
A lot of people associate him with the term future bass. But he also makes like he makes a lot of pop music,
Okay.
like Ariana Grande, Travis Scott,
Oh shit.
Kanye
Okay.
West. He's
So
part of
he's
good
like,
music. He's a part of good music. Huge dude, huge, and his music is really amazing. He's actually changed, like in my opinion, he actually has changed the sound of pop music for sure.
Sure.
He's very good at what he does.
yeah.
You know, in the day, I was like, oh, he's playing in town. Okay, I think I could open up for him. I want to open up for him, but I really just want a paycheck. Like I gotta pay bills. As well, I do love playing shows live.
Yeah.
But my whole mindset is like, I'm just gonna be in front of people, and I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna be 100% honest with myself.
Yeah.
And show myself to this audience, and I'm gonna do the best I possibly can. And if these people don't like it,
Yeah.
there it is. But if the people do like it, hopefully I'll gain some more new people, and I'll be playing in front of a lot of different people. So the idea is like play in front of a lot of people and hopefully get some fans from it.
No, I like that because it has a lot less judgment than. Well, I wouldn't open for that dude because I disagree with his message. Because while I disagree with a lot of artists' messages, I don't think it's coming from a real place to look at the crowd of people in front of you and be like, well, they like this dude, so they must be full of shit. Even though there's this really judgmental part of me that believes, and I keep trying to wean this part of me off, but if you like trash music, you might be a trash person.
Or you can like good music and you be a trash person.
This is so real, so I gotta let that go. Is there anything you could tell me to help me let that go? Because
Oh man, wow. I think like a lot of it's just a mindset.
I was, alright, Rihanna's new song,
No, I probably don't.
Wild Thoughts.
No, I actually don't.
Okay, well, it has a Santana sample that like Rob Thomas from back in the day took it.
Is that the DJ Khaled song?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know.
And when that Santana sample came in, it made me want to like run my car into a telephone pole. Like I was like, this is so overplayed, so uncreative, so catering to the lowest common denominator. Like, how can we? And then I realized like it's probably not that big of a deal.
Well, that song wasn't made for you, anyways. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you weren't part of the demographic.
Okay.
So like therefore like I'm not part of that demographic either. So
that's a beautiful way to look at it.
That's really what it is. Like there's music for every situation. Like that song, there's a certain time and place for that song where it's very appropriate, and I would like that song to be played. And there's also times where I would not want that song to be played.
Okay.
So it's all about time and place. I think what helped me a lot also is teaching kids. I teach high schoolers and middle schoolers beat making production at Upbeat Academy, and that definitely like. And here I always ask them questions like, "What are you listening to? What's going on in your world?"
Sure.
Just trying to understand their world, and them showing me stuff and me showing them stuff. I think it helps out a lot, getting their perspective and stuff. It puts me onto a lot of different music I normally wouldn't listen to, and you know, rap and hip hop is at a really interesting place now. But I would say from a pop point of view, it's the most experimental it's ever been right now. So,
okay.
Like whether people love it or hate it, like especially like the production techniques are so advanced now, like compared to like what Pete Rock was doing, you know. But also technology has gotten better too, so it's more accessible.
Yeah.
No diss to Pete Rock because I'm a big fan for sure. You know.
Yeah.
But like, so that's not a diss at all because the golden era is my heart. You know, the boom bap is my heart for sure. But
I just look at like maybe I idealize too much this sort of like art rap thing that's happening. Like Milo's new album,
right?
I think is gorgeous.
Oh, it is,
and I feel like it doesn't compromise at all.
But also, Milo's like 100% independent artist too. Like he's at a point where he is now. You know, like I don't even think I think he released that on his own label.
Yeah.
So he's at a point where like I'm popular enough where I don't necessarily need to put this out on Alpha Pup.
But I don't think he ever did. I could be wrong. I could be like totally wrong. Maybe there was this one time he did an Apple commercial. But I think the fans that he's gleaned like love and respect him for that at least appearance of 1000% authenticity.
So Milo to me is like, in that case, he's like the rap equivalent of how I would look at like Ian McKay. Like Ian McKay can just, you know, if he were to say like I'm gonna go on tour, like it's not gonna happen. But if we were to say that, all the shows would be sold out. He has like a very strong fan base, like dedicated people who love this man and his work.
Sure.
Milo's the same way. It's like people love Milo, and he has like the best fans, you know, because people go way out of the way to show love and support, allow him to create the art that he wants to make. So he gets to 100% make all the music he wants to make in the side projects, and fans will buy it.
Yeah.
So, and that's a beautiful thing to be. And I'd rather be more like that than to be like some big commercial success, you know, where I want my fans to be real fans and true fans, and where I like have a relationship and know a majority of them, and I can go all over.
Yeah.
And like all over the world and have a real connection with people instead of having like this where I'm playing in front of a sea of strangers and have no connection really.
Yeah.
I know you understand that from just being an artist and touring and playing like from like house shows to bigger venue shows, and you know.
Yeah. Wow. Can we talk a little bit about Red Bull music? Because I feel like
the Music Academy?
Well, yeah, I went to Dolo the other night, and I know you've been involved with Red Bull for a while, but I feel like that is kind of like straddling this really fine line of beauty that we're kind of dancing around. Like, how do you go strictly corporate and get your check, or do you stay super independent and play in a basement full of 10 people who will buy all of your records? Like, and I feel like what you're doing with Red Bull.
Oh, Well, Red Bull, they don't support my music career. You know, I just work for them. I'm pretty much like a consultant. You know.
So okay, so can we dig into that? Because when I went to Dolo, I was like, wow, okay, well, there's like Red Bull Music Academy applications on a desk. There's the DJ stand says Red Bull. I'm thinking this is a Red Bull event.
Well, it's Red Bull did support that Dolo for sure. So Red Bull, they're supporting Dolo. So I would say that, you know.
But Dolo supports indie producers.
Yeah, I support the community, like whoever is doing cool stuff to the community. And yeah, that's the whole point of Dolo, is to be a safe place for producers and beat makers to play their own original music.
Yeah.
You know, we've lately been trying to make it more like, well, we have at least one DJ and they're just playing like tunes to warm the crowd up.
Okay.
But even like the guy we had, Quickweed, he was playing his music as well as DJing too.
Yeah.
But normally it's just all 100% producers. But yeah, Red Bull, they're in the application phase and they've been showing us love. The Music Academy, so it's the local Red Bull, like Red Bull New Orleans has been showing us love. But getting permission from, like the southern region, saying it's okay for them to support us at this time. And it makes sense because Music Academy is going on and stuff. So, they are showing love. And so Red Bull is definitely helping out with some stuff. But like as my career personally, like, no, not really. But, but I'm okay with that because I want to see the community get bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
That's always been my thing. I think everyone who knows me knows that I care, like, to put the community like first, and so that's why Dolo's been taking a back seat the past year, because I've been trying to focus more on myself.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Can you talk a little bit about the remix game? Because as I'm digging through your catalog, and I'm like, I see these awesome remixes. You're working with was that dude from South Korea? And then you got a Megaran, and then you got some Charm Taylor on there, and then you got some, like, you were all over the map on the remix game.
The song with Blue Chan, he's from Korea. That's original.
Okay.
So that's like original.
That's not a remix. That's not
a remix.
Okay.
Megaran too. That's original. That was on his album Random.
Okay.
So I'm very proud. I'm biased, of course. I personally think that's the best song on that album. Like, and I know a lot of people who also feel the same way too. It's definitely the most experimental and most different sounding song on that album. So, which I'm very proud of that. I hope to do more productions. Yeah, I did a remix for Boyfriend.
Yeah, saw that.
So I did that, and I'm really happy with that one. The Phony People one is probably like my favorite.
Okay.
It was also the fastest one I cranked out. I cranked that one out real quick.
Is there a strategy behind?
Oh yeah, totally.
Like,
I love doing remixes. Remixes are fun. It's very fun for me to take something pre-existing and turn it into something else. It's like, let me do it my way.
Okay.
Let me take your song and make it my song, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like, let me put my taste, my flavor into it. I'm a fan of that. Like, I'll remix. If I could have a career just remixing other people's music, that's what I would love to do that. I don't really feel like making albums and
for real
EPs right now. I'd rather just remix other people's music. That's how I currently feel, but I'm pretty sure that will change. Well, what I really want to do is score. I want to do more scoring, but that's
what, like film shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very. I very much feel like I'm a composer stuck in a beat maker's body. So I definitely have stuff where I've written out where it's more orchestral things and stuff like that. But I never really shown any of that off. But I infuse some of that with the beat stuff. But I'm currently working on with some different artists, and we'll see if that stuff ever comes out. So
yeah. But
the remixing. So yeah, if you want to work with an artist, it takes trust.
Sure.
You have to trust each other. And so you can send somebody beats all day. If they don't trust your ear or your vision, it's probably not going to get anywhere. And sometimes rappers are the worst when it comes to giving you back a verse. Sometimes beat makers are the worst when it comes to giving you an actual beat. Yeah. Sometimes there's plenty of people who are like, oh, I gave them like a beat CD, they never did anything with it, and they're just holding on to a beat CD. If they did that for Dilla, like who am I, So what's non-threatening and easy for everyone remixes. Like, hey, I want to remix your song. I'll be like, half the times I'm not going to even ask, who are you? Like, if you're like, hey, I want to make a song for you, like, well, who are you? I want to remix the song for you. Oh, well, yeah, there's no threat. Okay, sure. The only problem would be like, okay, let's see if we can get back to the engineer to see if you can bounce the stuff out to you. But yeah, usually it's pretty simple. Most people are usually down for the idea of you remixing their music. So I look at it like, let me do a remix for you. And if you like that remix, then let's make something original afterwards. So I'm sitting on a bunch of different remixes right now that I want to push out. And some of them are so good that I'm going to probably use them as like a release on my own thing and just say like I sampled their, like I sampled your vocal on this, and so. But we'll see what happens.
That's neat. So like, can you walk me through the process
of remixing?
I guess what I'm saying is there a time specifically when that worked out super well? So like, let's say you're chilling, you love this artist, and you're like, hey, you're dope. Is it cool if I remix the thing? And they go, what? Yeah, let me send over the vocal stems, whatever, get back to me. Then a month later, you send them the remix. Then they go, we love it, it's great, put it out. And then you go, that's awesome. Do you need a beat on your next album? Like, how does the chain of conversation continue?
It's kind of like what you just said.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. For instance, when I remix Juicy Orange, Juicy Orange is Friendly. Some people are like, yo, who's this guy who did this remix for you? And also, I wanted to say that it was really refreshing to know, like, I did a remix for them, and they made a new music video for it.
What? Okay.
They made their own. They put money and made their own music video and then put it out.
Yeah.
For a remix I did, which was a song that was probably like 3 years old at the time. So I gave new life to that song and gave them more press, which I was like, and they have a pretty good following too in Taiwan. So they're no slouches. So at that time it was like the highest profile act that I did a remix for was Juicy Orange, and from there it allowed me to link up with other artists. Or the new EP I'm gonna have come out pretty soon. Yeah. I have 2 different Taiwanese artists that I've gotten in contact with through Juicy Orange.
Yeah, that's dope. Let's see. We're gonna take a little break. 1 second, iPad. Okay, switching gears. This may be a super basic question, but like, how do you approach a beat? Do you go melody first or drums first, or do you go like, I have this sample and I need to chop that and we'll build around that? Like, is it different every time?
Well, I think everyone has a formula, right? I guess my formula starts off, well, I don't really sample anymore, so I stopped that a while ago. Every once in a while I'll just do it for fun, just to see if I still got the chops, but yeah, I worked on this video game, and after working on this video game, I was like, okay, I can't sample anymore, because I'm trying to think big. Like, I want to be able to license my music out with having no issues whatsoever.
Okay, so specifically on the sampling, you don't like it because it would get in the way of the licensing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Totally, because the first thing you're like, is it a sample? You're like, well, yeah. Like, oh, well, we can't do anything with it. And I'm like, well, that cuts the money flow. So I'm thinking in advance. I'm thinking ahead in advance. Like, okay, let me take out any precautions of any of that stuff, so to make sure that there's no issues with that.
My cat got the ball again.
I don't even know where the ball is. Oh, it's right here.
Come on, pianos. There you go. Ooh. All right. I totally interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, I was done. I was pretty much done.
So I just
the process of making a beat.
Yes.
So I'm a big fan of chord progressions. So I don't even make the melody first. I just make the chord progression, and then from the chord progression, I go and build everything backwards, and usually end up with the bass line last. So I'll do the drums before I do the bass line. So the bass line is usually dead last.
What's your favorite DAW?
FL Studios, hands down.
Fruity Loops all
Fruity
day.
Loops. Yes, yes.
Okay.
And people are always shocked when I say like that's what I use. They're like, you use that? I'm like, yeah. Like there's like a lot of people use it, you know.
Yeah.
And make heat.
What's your are there any hardware that you love? Any toys that you like to play with? Because I always see you with the 404 and the K-oscillator.
Yeah, I love those two things for sure.
Okay.
I had a Moog Werkstatt 01. I missed that thing. I ended up giving it away to the Nathan Tremaine, the dude who usually does graphic design for me. He's more of a hardware guy than I am.
Okay.
So I decided to give it to him just from as a gift, because he's definitely like hooked me up with some freebies for like a graphic design work. But you know, I pay him now, you know. But
sure,
it's just kind of like, hey man, thanks for everything, and you know, I appreciate you. And here's a gift.
Yeah.
But,
so do you have any like wish list hardware toys, or no? You're good with what you got because what you got works.
I'm very much a minimalist. I got rid of my MIDI controller. I got rid of all my hardware. I don't even have an interface anymore. So I just work straight in the box on a laptop. I just stopped using hardware or any external gear whatsoever.
Yeah.
If I need to record, I'll just go to a place where there's actually good recording gear. I don't want to own it. I want to be able to create exactly the same no matter where I go. I don't want to have to be dependent on one certain thing.
Yeah.
I want to be able to. That's another reason why I stopped sampling too. Was like having records and stuff. I used to go record digging all the time with friends and whatnot. That was like a pastime in college for me. So we would just go to a different city, go dig for records. When I was on tour with Durazo, he was like, oh, we got to go dig for records and all that. I'm like, man, I don't do that anymore, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like, you know, I'm practically homeless. Like, what the hell? Where am I going to put records?
Wow.
Not anymore, but at that time, you know?
Yeah. Do you want to speak to that a little? Because that sounds like in gear and in thought and earlier in food, you're coming from like a perspective of minimalism, of just kind of like stripping all the way the unnecessary shit. Like, where does that come from?
I'm just trying to just take out unnecessary stress out of my life.
Okay.
And that's where a lot of it comes from that. I learned that having a collection of things can be real stressful, like upkeep, and if you have to moving is also very stressful. So, moving's very stressful because of having a lot of things and trying to transport all those things and whatnot. So, I think stress is good because stress brings a lot of greatness comes from stress, being stressed out and pushing yourself.
Yeah.
To do different things. But I just want to not have things to worry about. The less I'm worried about stuff, the more carefree I can think, even though I don't have a carefree life. You know, I don't wish sometimes, but it's not. I don't live in a carefree world, so I can't be carefree. But if I can eliminate unnecessary stress, then I will. And I try to, as much as possible, cutting excess fat. So do I really need this? How many pairs of shoes do I need?
I don't know.
Exactly. I don't need I'll look at, I don't want to say names, but like one of my family members has like a lot of shoes. I was like, why do you need that many pair of shoes? Like, or why do I need this much clothing? Or,
sneaker game is real to some people.
It's also like a big waste of money. Like,
well, I think what you're touching on is something beautiful, where like the concept of what you own owns you in a way. So
that's true. Some people identify what their collection is. Like, I'm important because I have a collection of this. Whether it's like I have a video game room where it's a collection of all these rare video games, and I have a YouTube channel and I do this, and that's my identity. Like, I'm a guy who's a collector. I collect, or I have these shoes, or I have these clothes, or these cars, or these models, like model planes or something like that. Yeah, I don't want that to be my identity. I want my identity to be just who I am as a person and my actions. Yeah. I want like, so when I die, I don't want them to think, oh, you had like a crazy collection of this. And that's what makes it important.
And that can be, so do you also include art in that conversation? Because that can be...
I don't really have any sentimental items on me or at my place. So when people come over, Especially when I have feminine energy come over, they're joking like, I can tell this is a guy's room.
Okay.
I'm like, well, I understand why they say that, because it's like there's nothing there, but like that nothing is peaceful and calming to me.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So it helps me meditate. It helps me clear my mind. I'm not distracted by just random things.
I think a lot of like beauty can be made, and not in a good way. Like it usually comes out of a place of stress, where like if you think you are your art, if you think like this song is me, right? Then you might get a good song out of it. You probably get like an experimental song, maybe an edgy song, maybe it just weaves in a way that you find reflects the way the universe works, and you just love the fuck out of it. And then someone says, I really thought that song was cliche. Like, it can hurt extra hard because you put your identity in the song. And so sometimes it's helpful to step back, like as you're speaking about like things, or to step back from them and realize they're not you. But do you have an issue when it comes to art, about specifically your music, about stepping away from it and saying, well, the music is not me, or is the music totally you? And Erykah Badu is somewhat famous for saying like, I'm sensitive about my shit because I'm are you? So
I look at it like this. So like my music is just an extension of my personality, and that's all it is. So some of it, I have more emotions attached to it than others. A lot of that stuff's not released. That's like just my personally just what I have.
Yeah.
And then some of it is just like bubblegum, pop, cotton candy. It's no nutritional value. It's just fun, and that's all it is. But all of it's an extension of my personality.
Okay.
So, and if you like the music, good chance you probably might like me.
Okay.
So that's I'll leave it at that. That's all it really is.
Cool. What do you feel is the difference between art and entertainment?
It's a gray area. It's a Venn diagram for sure. There's a lot of... I don't know how to answer that. I really don't.
Okay.
They're kind of one and the same. I guess maybe when you're on one extreme, it could be being very pretentious.
Yeah.
On the other extreme, it could be of no substance.
Yeah.
But then again, you can also argue that they're one and the same. Those two things are one and the same also. So I don't know.
Okay.
I actually don't even have I don't know what I would even... I don't know what my opinion on that is, actually.
Yeah.
So
I keep looking. I'll tell you that. I don't think I've formed...
art is supposed to be... to a sense, art is entertaining. To a sense, right? Even if you stare and you observe it and you...
I mean, it can be, yeah.
When you stare and you're observing, like, it's supposed to be like some form of enjoyment, or like you're supposed to get something out of it. Like watching a documentary, right? That's a form of entertainment, right? Because you're being entertained, you're observing, you're being informed.
Yeah.
And so, like, how... Isn't that entertaining? I guess it depends on what the definition of entertainment is.
Yeah, yeah.
So...
I just got two more. What is your... I know it's kind of a personal question, but I ask everybody this.
No, it's fine.
What's your most tangible fear? Like, what do you... In the universe, what do you...
I wish I would have known this in advance, because I would have an answer. 'Cause I don't know if I can come up with an answer so quick. It's my most tangible fear. Probably just not being loved by people I care about.
Yeah.
I think that's probably that's the deepest, most real answer I can think of.
That's real. So to follow up on that, what does the opposite of fear look like to you?
The first thing that comes to mind is just not caring.
Okay.
But at the same time, though, I kind of have like this cliche statement.
Okay.
Like, when someone usually says they don't care, that's when they actually care the most. And that is usually true.
Yeah.
But that fearlessness, because like I don't give a fuck, right? You say that when you don't care, and there is no fear, so you're just gonna do whatever without thinking about the repercussions. So
Yeah.
I guess that would be the opposite.
Yeah. And oddly enough, when someone says, I don't give a fuck, I'm going for it, most of the time they're putting everything on the line
Yes,
at that point. And
for sure.
And this idea that I got nothing to lose. Actually, you put everything up, so you got everything to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a rush in that. I mean, there's a reason that gamblers go back to the casino, and it's not because they won yesterday. It's because they fucking lost. They lost everything, and they had to go redeem themselves or get it back or prove to them or themselves or the game that it was all worth it. Which I just mean to say, maybe there is no difference between I don't give a fuck and I'm giving you everything I have. Do you have anything you want to leave us with? Like, what should we be checking for? What do you got coming up next?
Oh, so I'm playing this festival in South Korea.
What?
I think it's called Zandaria Fest. I think that's the name of it.
I'm gonna try and make it.
It's in Seoul. I think.
What? Okay, you're playing Seoul. How did this happen? When is this
It
happening?
happened because of the festival I played in Wales.
Wow. All right, so I got to get to Wales. This is what
Yeah, you should apply for Focus Wales for sure.
Okay, I will.
I encourage everyone to apply for it. It's a great time, good people.
Yeah.
It's most professionally ran festival I've ever been to, and that's including like Buku Fest and all the other festivals I've ever played. So it's tip top, like good people, good time, good music.
Okay, so you're playing Seoul.
Yes, I'm doing that, and Blue Chan and I are sharing the stage together. So Blue Chan he lives in Seoul.
Okay.
So like him, his collective will be there, and one of my really close buddies, Yvonne, he goes by Bahar. Not easy to pronounce, but yeah. Some people say Bar.
Okay.
He's also meeting up with me. He's also playing the festival too. So I got that going on. Me and Charm Taylor is supposed to be playing. Not supposed to be. Or we're playing Pop Montreal, which is a festival. I think I'm out there September 17th with her.
Wow.
So I'm just like backing her up again. Being part of the Charm Taylor brand, which I'm all about, because I really want to see her succeed and do the best that she possibly can, and she will, because she's. Yeah. I have all the faith in the world for her. She has great vision and knows how to push herself. And I told her, like, anything you're trying to do, I don't mind putting things aside of my career to help you out, because I believe in you and what you're trying to do and your message. So so in September I got that. Going on my birthday, it's also on the 1st. I would usually do a show, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably just gonna chill.
Okay.
Chill, mom. That's my Mother's Day.
All right.
I'm releasing the EP at some point. I don't know when it's going to happen. Originally, it was going to be after Buku Fest, but then it didn't make any sense. I'm in the talks of touring with Stone Throw artists.
Okay.
I don't want to say names.
Okay.
So as local, not local support, but as just the opener, opening act, touring with them. We just they're trying to line up some stuff to make sure, like some festival stuff's linked up with the artists. So I'm supposed to be going on tour with this artist, and we'll see what happens. And that's when I'll probably release my EP, because it makes sense. Like, okay, I can release it at this point because I'm going on tour, and I'm kind of using like all this music I back catalog. I'm like, okay, I'm going on tour. Let me put out a project.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It makes no sense to just drop music.
Yeah.
At least not for me. It works for some people. It's not I'm a very patient person, so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm missing a whole lot of other things. I don't know. The thing is with me, I purposely try to forget about stuff.
Okay.
Because I hate the feeling of feeling anxious. I loathe that feeling. I hate sitting around and, all right, I want to hurry up and just play the show and get out the way. Or I want, like people are like, oh, you're excited about doing this thing next week? I'm like, I'm not even thinking about that. I got to think about what I got to do today.
Yeah.
I'm not even thinking about tomorrow. I'm like, what am I doing today? And then before I go to bed, I'm like, oh, what do I have to do tomorrow? Okay, cool. Or like, yeah, that's what keeps. And some people take that as arrogance.
Yeah.
Or as me being cocky, or no, it's just me not getting stressed out.
Yeah.
I'll get stressed out if I have to think about all the different things I have to take care of. Even I would joke around and tell people, they're like, when do you do this, when you do that at the show? I'm like, I don't know. I just know how much I'm getting paid and what time sound check is. I don't know anything else. Because that's the only thing I need to know. Like, okay, how much am I getting paid? And before, the younger me would never say that. It's just that I've become, I gotten older. I understand I have a worth as an artist. And my art is worth this much. For me to get out the house, I need to get paid this much. So, where's my money? What time is sound check? Right. And then after that, we'll figure out what time I play.
Yeah. That's what's up.
So that's I try to keep it like that, and it makes my life a lot easier.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess I don't
thank you.
end on that, but whatever.
Yeah, thank you so much for getting out of the house with us today.
That's no problem. Hopefully, someone learns something from this. Hopefully, I learned something.
I know I did. I really enjoyed what you said about licensing. I really enjoyed what you said about PR. Part of me is like, how can I do these things myself? Because I don't have an extra $2,000 laying around.
I will say this, like, because you can spend that much money and you could have spent it somewhere else. Like, your strong suit is you're a touring artist and you're very DIY and you can do it yourself. That's like my strong suit too. I don't need so you're already in a whole nother class because of that. Because a lot of people who might be hitting up these PR people or these management consulting firms and stuff like that can't do that themselves.
That's real.
So you kind of have a plus because you can generate income without their help. So
yeah, I'm all about that DIY shit.
Yeah. But I would say this, like, the biggest difference, like someone pointed this out, like what, Run the Jewels, like LP and Killer Mike, they've been doing all this and this and that forever. Why is Run the Jewels so popular? Like, it was branded and marketed correctly. Like, it had probably the most they've been branded together, Like,
even down to the logo.
Yeah, it's
like that. Look at the cover of their 3 albums. It's the same cover with a different color scheme.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
The branding is on point. Their PR game is on point.
Yeah.
Their management is probably super on point. That's one thing I definitely learned is, like, it's all about your team behind you. So that's what my goal for this year.
Yeah.
I remember, like, when I was talking with Adam, like, need a manager.
Yeah.
But not just any manager. I need someone who works for me.
Yeah.
I'm not me working for them. I also need a booking agency. Like, those are 2 things. If I can get that done this year, then, I'm doing something right. I also told myself I want to play 10 festivals.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I want to play 10 festivals. I haven't counted how many I played so far, but it's probably like 6 or 7 this year.
Okay.
So, But yeah, there we go. Thanks for having me out.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming. No and thank you, listener, for listening. As soon as we sign off, AFTHENAYSAYER is going to tell me how to book all these festivals, and then I'm going to keep those secrets from you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But thank you so much for listening. We love you. We appreciate you. And where can we find you?
Social media, just AFTHENAYSAYER. Everything's AFTHENAYSAYER. Instagram.
AFTHENAYSAYER,
Facebook,
all caps.
Twitter.
Google it, and you will find the links. Thank you again for listening. Bye. Thanks again for listening, y'all. I know it's been a while since I put one up. I have been aggressively working on this new album like it's my full-time job. And I have some great news. It looks like the songs are done. Now we're just in the mixing and mastering phase and figuring out the graphics. And even better news, I'm going to put it out on vinyl. I'm super excited about that. Yeah, so planning a tour for the spring and writing my face off for this last album. I feel extra good about it. It's got, I don't know, it's exciting. It's different than anything I've ever released, and I can't wait to share it with you. Yeah, all the love. On this podcast, you can expect more episodes. We have Glynis Redmond from Greenville, South Carolina. She's the poet in residence at the Peace Center, an amazing author. I've known her for a while, and we sat down and talked. And we also have Quentin Talley from Charlotte, North Carolina. And we're going to get Kyle Hubbard out of Houston and Virgil Wolf. And I would love to interview Chief and the Doomsday Device. I'm going to follow up with him, but I'm going to be touring through Texas here soon. So maybe I can see him then. But holler back at me if you want me to come to your town, because I am booking my face off for this spring tour and this new album. I really want to go to the West Coast. I really want to go to the Northeast. And yeah, life is good. Life is good on my end. I hope you're well. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to jonathanbrownmusic.com. And yeah, all the love. Thanks again.